Hi, this is Just Be Well, the channel about whole life wellness, and we're doing another quick meal.
So tonight we have 1 pound of grass-fed beef,
Organic.
We have an onion, 4 cloves of garlic. We have a stir-fry blend of frozen vegetables, and then also riced cauliflower and riced sweet potato. So for tonight's cooking, we're going to use 2 pans, one that we're going to brown the hamburger in, and while the hamburger is browning, we are going to be sauteing the vegetables.
All right, let's get after it.
Okay.
So how about, I'm going to chop the onion and so on?
Yes.
All right.
I will heat up some oil in the pan.
Okay. Well, so knife skills. Take the 2 ends off, cut it in half, and then all of this goes in the trash, and we peel this, and then a little discussion about not cutting your fingers off.
And we are stir frying the vegetables in organic olive oil tonight.
You know, a lot of talk so far about organic, and organic is better, but don't let perfection be the enemy of good enough. Perfection isn't as important as getting your vegetables. So it's nice to get organic. We're going to chop these, so there's a little trick to this. Cut them a couple of times, and then what I'm going to do is use my fingers with the knuckles forward like this, so I'm chopping here, I'm not chopping like this. And just take those back so I can chop fairly fast. And then this last little bit, rather than trying to wiggle on a narrow little platform, I just take those. So that whole half is chopped. And then this half, and I'll show you what I mean on that last bit. So I'm just going to make big pieces. And then once I get here, I take, this was up like this, and this is when you cut yourself, when this is rocky and it slips into you. So you lay it flat, take about 3 cuts on that, and then cut them the other direction, and that preserves your fingers. So there's our onion. And then, I mentioned this the other day, but you can take a clove of garlic and just roll it in your hands, and the edges come off, but the ends, especially where it attaches to the bulb, are often really sharp, and it hurts. So if you just take that little nib off, and then take off the rest of the skin, and these little paper skins go everywhere, they're hard to keep control of. And then a couple more of these. What are you doing over there?
I am browning the hamburger. I'm just starting to separate it a little bit. So that's going. The olive oil is heating. It's about warm enough to throw in the onions, I think.
Okay, so we've got our garlic, and I made a mess here, so let me clean this up quickly. Get all the garlic chibbles out of the way. If this was a restaurant, I'd probably be fired in about a minute, but this is our home, so nobody's going to fire me, although I have been fired before. All right, so there's that.
Okay, I'm going to throw these in the pan.
All right. So just throwing things in the pan, and now we're just cooking the meat, kind of breaking it up as it starts to brown. Hear the sizzle, that makes you hungry just right after you do it. Sometimes the meat won't let go. All right, so again, super quick, we're just browning meat, stir-frying the veggies, putting it all together. It's going to end up with being essentially a hash. And instead of rice or potatoes, there's riced cauliflower and sweet potato. And then this is sort of a stir-fry mix. So it's got broccoli and snow peas and a little bit of celery and some water, chestnuts and peppers. Good stuff. Mushrooms. So again, frozen. Don't let perfection be the enemy of good enough. In our fast-paced life, some days the vegetables just go bad. You know, we try to buy fresh and we consume the fresh, but we have frozen in the freezer all the time because this is just a quick emergency meal. This is a 30-minute start to finish meal, and it's really good. So
this is it's 5 o'clock and I haven't thought about what I'm making for supper yet, Neil.
yep. So we have a hamburger, and if it was frozen, you know, we could use this box right here. The plate that goes here broke, sorry. But, you know, we could thaw it in the microwave if we needed to, or we could thaw it in, over here we have a steam oven, a little portable steam oven. We could thaw it in there if we wanted to.
Cold water.
Or put it in cold water and just let it sit. The water can be the same temperature as the air, but it conducts heat about 200 times better. I think it's 240 times better. So it thaws things a lot faster to put them in a plastic bag and put them in water. So overall, we've got things moving along. I don't know, I kind of debate, sometimes I just want to leave it sort of big and chunky, almost like meatballs. And that is one way that you could prepare this. You could actually just buy pre-made meatballs, you know, like, anyway, there's organic pre-made meatballs you can buy, I can't remember the name. And you could make this with that, just brown up the meatballs like this, but we're making it more like a hash style. So now that that's in, why don't you tell us a little bit about the seasonings you're planning to use?
I have a vegetable seasoning here that it's got some organic onion in it, organic garlic, bell pepper, sea salt, organic black pepper, cumin, coriander, oregano, and cilantro.
So just a mix.
Just a mix. And then I, of course, have some extra oregano and basil.
Okay.
And I'm just going to run the vegetables over some water for just a bit.
Okay. So basically she's going to use water to thaw the vegetables because that will allow them to cook a little faster, which will crisp them up a little bit. The problem with frozen vegetables, if you take the frozen vegetables and throw them into a pan, they tend to get soggy. If you thaw them and then rinse them out, you know, pound the colander a little bit to get most of the water out, then when you throw them in, they're already reasonably dry, they're thawed out, they're reasonably dry, and they cook up faster and a little crisper. They don't taste quite like the soggy frozen vegetables you're used to. Do I measure? No is the answer.
Cover them a little bit.
And I'm just sprinkling in the spices. This reminds me of a scene in The 100-Foot Journey where the father is yelling at the lady who owns the French restaurant and saying, "Don't be stingy with it. You just sprinkle it in, you should spoon it in."
I pretty much spoon it in. Be faster.
I love that movie.
And yeah, you can do whatever, the amount you prefer.
Yep, and you know, you can put in some cayenne if you want it hot. You can put in more basil or less oregano or vice versa. Uh-oh. I think I just didn't record that whole episode. I think I pushed the button and it didn't record, and I recorded the part when I was walking from here to there. Sorry about that, but she was sprinkling it in pretty liberally. The good news about a cast iron pan, just turn it off because it's going to stay hot for a long time.
If you want, you can take my lid, because I want to cook off some of the water.
Okay, there we go. This is a cool thing. I thought it was the dumbest thing since I'd ever seen when we first bought it, but it's a multi-size pan. It's, you know, the handle comes out here. It's a small pan, a bigger pan, a bigger pan. I kind of like it. It works really well. That way you don't have to be looking around and have a special lid for every single pan in your pantry. All right, so now we're stirring up the veggies. Give you a little look of this, and I'll see if I can actually make it record this time. All right, so here is what it looks like. So you can see the bigger pieces, the cauliflower and the snow peas and peppers, and then there's the little tiny yellow bits are sweet potato, and the little tiny white bits are riced cauliflower. So this is, you know, probably 2 pounds of vegetables.
Yes.
2 pounds of vegetables and a pound of meat. So we're each going to get a pound of vegetables and a half a pound of meat for dinner. We're going to basically eat this whole thing. Because vegetables, you know, you think about it, people... Go ahead.
I said, this will probably be 2 meals for us.
Okay, we'll have some of it for lunch tomorrow. But my point is that you need to eat enough volume. So this is 5 servings. So there's 2 bags of 5 servings. So there's 10 servings of vegetables in this meal. And so I don't know if we'll really have that much left over. I'm pretty hungry. What do you think? Another few minutes? Good. So we'll put the recipe at the end of this video. Will be all the ingredients and how it was prepared and the total cook time from, you know, starting like the first chop of the onion to the end. And it'll be less than 30 minutes. It's getting close. Oh, you know, we didn't put in is our garlic.
Okay. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. So garlic is interesting. If you put the garlic in too early, all of the volatile oils kind of go off and it just doesn't leave the flavor behind. So we like to put the garlic in kind of later on. So here it comes. You shoot yourself in the face. It's pretty tasty.
Yep.
Reload. Reload.
And it is more fun to cook with someone else. So you can grab your spouse, one of the kids. You can see it does help with the time as well. I mean, this would be a simple meal to make alone, but it's fun to be able to cook with somebody.
It is. And guess what? It builds family, it builds community. You know, they say that eating just one meal a week together reduces the risk of your children getting into mischief like drugs and alcohol early. Reduces it by like 50%. It's crazy the amount of time it reduces it. So, you know, and I think my guess is that bringing them into the cooking experience reduces it even more. And I would argue that it's a great way to build some skills. So, you know, once a week, have a kid be responsible for the meal. And, you know, you coach them and mentor them and help them, but it's theirs. And when they put it on the table and everybody says, ew, I don't like that, well, then they feel that just like you feel it when you cook.
I tend to get that a lot.
Yeah. Teenagers and organic health food aren't always the best mix, right?
But they're still taking notes and learning.
Yep. You know, just as an example, many years ago when my sons are in their mid to late 30s now, and we were rock climbing down in southern Minnesota at a place called Blue Mountains, and we were driving home, and I was having a hunger attack, and I started to pull off the road into like a fast food place, and my son, who was like, he was in college, he wasn't that old, 20-something, he goes, Dad, you are not eating that stuff. So these lessons do stick, believe it or not. So we ended up going to the deli at a supermarket to get better food. And it was better food, and it didn't take any longer. It took no longer to go to the deli and get better food than to go to the fast food restaurant. Just like this meal, done in 30 minutes, it would take you longer than that to get in the car and drive and sit in line with everybody else who's sitting in line at the fast food place. So, way healthier meal for no more time. You ready to move this over?
We are ready to add it.
Alright, let me get a hot pad because I just noticed that it is not cold. Alright, so we're just going to take all this organic ground beef,
And
grass-fed.
it is, yes, super lean. There is not a stitch of extra oil, so no need to drain it or
Yep, there's
anything.
no oil in there at all. There was like, it was dry.
It's dry. Fun.
Yeah, so it's almost like, should we add some butter? Yeah, but it's very dry. This whole meal is going to be very lean and quick and easy and delicious.
It smells delicious.
It does smell really good.
It is ready.
It's ready. Okay, well, let's put out a hot pad and plate one. I'll move it over on a hot pad.
I'm gonna take the- You want to put it on this plate instead?
Nope. Should grab a couple of plates over there. And we'll kind of zoom in a little bit there and drop that. Let's put a little of this on one plate and then I'll